On the evening of March 29, 2025, some dogs pulled out a poly bag from a drain in Bulov locality in Badaut city of Gujarat and started fighting among themselves over it. This is a common sight, to say the least. But during this scuffle between the dogs a foul smell emanated from the poly bag and then something fell which sent shivers down the spines of people passing by. Because in that polythene there was a man's head which someone had probably tried to hide by disfiguring his face and then throwing it in the drain. As soon as the news spread, a crowd gathered and the police was also informed. The police team that reached the spot immediately took possession of the head and sent it for post-mortem. It is not a common occurrence for the head to meet the drain. Therefore, the district police chief took this matter seriously and ordered an immediate investigation. Now because Sir was found in the drainage of GIDC, therefore, it was possible that the rest of the body parts would also be in the same drain which passes along the side of the road in the city. Hence, to recover the remaining body parts, 4 teams of Barrage Police and local crime branch started their search using human and technical surveillance. Next day, on Sunday, March 30, 2025, on the orders of the police, municipality sanitation workers searched 1.5 kilometers from the place where the head was found, started manually checking the drains inside. The police's guess turned out to be accurate because, just 200 meters from the spot where the head was found, a severed right arm and a part from the waist to the knee was found in a black polythene. The search was intensified, and the next day the police found the victim's left arm in the same drainage line. The police had found 4 body parts in the last 3 days, of which 2 were in polythene and 2 were disposed openly. Murdering a person like this and throwing pieces of his body into the drain. Such a brutal news shocked the entire city. The decomposition of the body indicated that the man had been murdered a few days ago. Now the biggest challenge for the police was to identify this body because no such evidence or identity proof was found by which this man could be identified, and if something could be found then it was only after the post-mortem report came. Since Buleo GIDC was an industrial area, a police team started preparing the list of workers working in the nearby factories to check whether any factory worker was missing. Meanwhile, another police team began scanning the CCTV cameras installed in the surrounding areas. The police were trying every way to find some clue from somewhere, but they did not realize that this crime was committed in such a vicious manner that it would be extremely difficult to find the murderer. But it is said that no matter how clever the murderer is, he always leaves some clue behind, and in this case too, the murderer had missed a clue, and that clue was hidden in the same body parts which were chopped and thrown into the drain. Welcome to the show. My name is Shashwat and you are watching the murder mystery of Meruk. How was the victim identified in this case? To know this, we will understand each step in a simple way. In yesterday's post-mortem report, conducted on March 29, 2025, the doctor found a tooth cap on one of the victim's teeth. A tooth cap or dental crown is a type of custom-made prosthetic that dentists often fit over teeth after root canal treatment. The size of these tooth caps is unique as it is made according to the dental structure of different individuals, for which first the patient's dental x-ray and teeth measurement are taken. Since the post-mortem of the skull revealed that the victim had recently got a tooth cap fitted, this means that it was certain that his x-ray etc. would have been done, and if this person is a resident of this city, then some dentist would have a record of it which the forensic odontologist can compare the tooth cap found in the body with the record to find out who the patient was. This is a standard method in forensic science, especially when the option of fingerprint and DNA is not available due to the condition of the body. So a police team set out to check records in different dentist clinics in the city. But leading this case with just the help of a tooth cap was tricky, because in our country the patient's documentation should be done in a very proper way. This is not necessary, and it is also possible that the victim may have got the treatment done from some small dentist who may not keep the proper details. So the police needed a combination of evidence and they got it. But the victim had a partial tattoo on his right hand. But it was clear that the murderer had removed that part of the skin before killing so that no one could identify. But 3 dots of that tattoo design were still left on the hand which were revealed during the post-mortem. So now the police have a tooth cap along with it, even if it is a small one. But there was also a visual ID in the form of a tattoo. As I told you earlier, it was clear from the condition of the body that the murder had been committed a few days ago. Therefore, the police made a list of missing complaints recently filed in nearby police stations and filtered out those cases in which a person between 30 and 40 years of age was missing. In this process, a similar missing complaint was registered by a person named Mohit Chauhan at the Badaut police station on March 28. That is, when the police contacted Mohit Chauhan just a day before the head was found, it was verified that his brother had got his tooth cap fitted by the dentist a few days ago, and in the photo of his brother that Mohit had given to the police, he had a name tattoo on his hand with 3 dots at the end. These were the same 3 dots that were on the hand that the police found. Ultimately, this multi-step effort and smart approach of the police paid off as the body was identified as Sachin Chauhan, brother of Mohit Chauhan. 35-year-old Sachin Chauhan was from Bijnor, UP. But for the last 12 years, he was living in Gujarat and working in a pharma company. Police found out that he lived in Vedanta Society of Badaut with his wife Parul and 4-year-old son Shivash. So without any delay he reached that address. But his house was locked. When the police asked the neighbors, they came to know that his wife had already returned to her parents' home in Bijnor with her son. The police were puzzled as to why Sachin's wife died before the pieces of his body could be found. To answer this question, a police team left for Bijnor and UP, but they had no idea that the answers to all their questions and other revelations related to this case would reveal a secret that they had probably never seen before. When the Badaut police team reached Chandapur village in Bijnor and met Sachin's wife Parul and asked about him, Parul told that Sachin might have gone to Bangalore for work. The police became suspicious about Parul due to this, so they interrogated Sachin's brother Mohit Chauhan who lived there in Bijnor. Mohit told that Sachin had come to the village on March 7, 2025 to attend a wedding and Parul had come to Bijnor from Badajoz with her son to attend the same function. After attending the wedding, only Sachin went back to Badajoz for his job and he was going to send train tickets to bring back his wife and son after a few days. But since March 25th, he was not able to have any contact with Sachin. At first the phone was not getting picked up and later it started showing switched off. But before the switch goes off, Sachin's brother Mohit receives a text message from Sachin. This message was very shocking and strange. Sachin had written in the message to Mohit that he wants to take divorce from Parul because he is having an affair with another woman and he had borrowed money from someone. Due to which, in the fight that ensued, he murdered that man. This message made Mohit suspicious and he reached Badajoz to look for Sachin. There he met Sachin's childhood friend Shailendra, who also belonged to Bijnor and had come to Badajoz along with Sachin about 10 to 12 years ago for a job. But he also had no news about Sachin. However, when he came to know the entire matter from Mohit, he went with him to the police station on March 28 to lodge a missing person complaint and also helped in searching for Sachin at different places. When the police understood the entire timeline from Mohit, they wanted to contact Shailendra to gather more information about Sachin because it was only Shailendra who was with Sachin in Badajoz for the last 12 years. But the surprising thing was that Shailendra's phone was now switched off and he had not talked to any of Sachin's family members for the last few days. Now the police started tracing the number of Shailendra along with Sachin. Also, the call details of both were obtained in which a strange pattern was seen due to which the police started suspecting Shailendra. Before Sachin's phone was switched off, Shailendra had no outgoing calls and he spoke to his family and relatives only through text messages. Generally many criminals have been seen doing this, where they find it more risky to talk on call instead of text messages after committing the crime. The Badajoz police put Sachin and Shailendra's phone numbers on surveillance and finally, in collaboration with the UP police, arrested Shailendra on April 2, 2025 from near Jajapur in Bijnor on suspicion. And when the police investigated in their own way, it did not take long for this suspicion to become reality, because Shailendra himself accepted murdering his childhood friend Sachin and disposing of his body. But in this case, the surprising thing was not that a childhood friend brutally murdered his friend, but what was more shocking was the reason behind it, and the most shocking thing was that the victim in this case was also not a newborn groom. What is the whole matter? To understand this, let us go back 12 years to the day when Sachin and Shailendra had moved from Bijnor and up to Badajoz in Gujarat in search of a job. Sachin Chauhan and Shailendra Singh were both science graduates and were working in different pharma companies in Dahej, Gujarat due to their career. Sachin was married to Parul in the year 2020, who was currently in Bijnor at that time, and Sachin lived alone in a rented house here, whereas Shailendra lived with his wife in a rented apartment in Haridam Society of Badajoz. In the year 2023, he offered Sachin to live with him in the same flat because in this case the expenses and rent will increase and it will be financially beneficial for both of them. Now Shailendra had suggested this idea for the benefit of both, and since both were together since childhood, there was no harm in it. But Sachin took unfair advantage of Shailendra's friendship and crossed all limits of vulgarity. Sachin had shifted to Shailendra's house. One day when Shailendra was not at home and his wife was taking a bath in the bathroom, Sachin secretly recorded a video of her bathing from the bathroom window on his phone. This act of Sachin is from the year 2023 and at this time his wife and son lived in Bijnor. Shailendra was completely unaware of this cheap act of his friend. In the year 2023, Sachin's wife Parul came to Badajoz with her son Shivash. So Sachin now rented a house in Vedanta Society in Badajoz and shifted there with his entire family. So now along with Shailendra, Sachin also settled in Badajoz with his family. After some time, Shailendra needed about 4 Indian rupees lakh for which he asked for help from Sachin. Sachin also helped him in this and took a loan of 4 Indian rupees lakh from a private finance company. Shailendra used to send its installments to Sachin timely every month. Everything went normal for a few months, but when there was delay in paying the installment, Sachin got angry at Shailendra. Somehow a few more months passed and once again, due to delay in EMI, there was a rift in their friendship. The matter turned from resentment to quarrel and from quarrel to blackmailing, and from here the whole story changed because one day in anger Sachin showed Shailendra the video which he had recorded of his wife bathing and started threatening to post it on social media. Shailendra was shocked as he could not believe that the friend with whom he had spent such a long time of his life, with whom he had been everywhere from school to job, from his village to another state, with whom his friendship was so deep that both of them knew each other's ATM pin. Such a friend would do such a cheap act, and the surprising thing is that it had no connection with the money transaction because Sachin had recorded this video a long time ago and kept it hidden with himself. Shailendra appealed for friendship many times, requested Sachin several times to delete it, but every time he would make fun of him and laugh at him. Shailendra, who had somehow managed to maintain his friendship with Sachin after swallowing the bitter pill, was now in a dilemma, because he had to delete this video at any cost. But he was not able to defeat Sachin in a direct manner. So Shailendra made a plan, and under that plan he invited Sachin to his house for a dinner party on the evening of March 25th. Even before this, Shailendra had sent his wife to her parents' home in Bijnor, so there was no one else at home. That evening both of them had dinner and Shailendra made Sachin drink a lot of alcohol. When Sachin fell asleep at night, Shailendra took the opportunity and started searching for the same video of his wife in the gallery of his phone so that he could delete it. But meanwhile Sachin woke up and saw Shailendra checking his phone. This is where the fight began, and things escalated so much that Shailendra, in a fit of rage, stabbed Sachin multiple times on his neck, chest and stomach with a kitchen knife kept nearby, killing him. Shailendra had committed the crime in a fit of rage, but now like every criminal, he started trying to hide it, for which he brought a wood-cutting saw from a shop the next day. On March 26th, with this saw he cut Sachin's body into 9 pieces and also erased the tattoo of Sachin's name on his hand so that no identification remains. But here he made a small mistake and 3 dots on the tattoo were left which helped Sachin's family members in identifying the body. Shailendra had planned the disposal of the body very carefully and as per the same plan, he kept disposing of the body parts at different places from March 26th to March 29th. The shocking thing is that on March 28th, when Shailendra was pretending to search for Sachin along with his brother Mohit, pieces of Sachin's body were lying in his house. During this time, Shailendra would attend his office during the day and then dispose of the body parts in the darkness of the night. Not only this, Shailendra deliberately chose this drainage line near Dadara Dairy to dump the body parts because it was a non-residential area. Shailendra did not even switch off Sachin's phone immediately. In fact, it was he who had sent all those text messages from Sachin's phone to his brother Mohit in which it was written that he wanted to divorce Parul because she was having an affair with someone else and he had a fight with his friend Smith Patel because he owed money to him. Shailendra had written this whole fabricated story to mislead his family and to mislead the police. He had put Sachin's ATM card inside the train going to Delhi and had also written the ATM pin on the card's cover so that if anyone would use this ATM out of greed, the police would get its location in some other city. Before throwing the ATM, Shailendra had already transferred Indian rupee 00 present in Sachin's account to his own account via Google Pay. As I told you earlier, the friendship between the two was so deep that they knew everything from each other's ATM pin to mobile password. While disposing of the body parts, Shailendra chose such dark spots where there were no CCTV cameras and he used a trick to avoid the eyes of CCTV cameras installed on the road. He got up like a woman, wearing a maxi gown, a face scuff on the face and long hand gloves on the hands. He would go out on a scooter so that even if he is seen in any CCTV, he cannot be identified. The police cross-verified all the statements given by Shailendra and also found that he was seen going on a scooty wearing a maxi on a road near JIDC at 4:20 in the morning and returning back on the same route after half an hour. The reason behind this crime was not just a dispute over money but the betrayal of an old and deep friendship. At present Shailendra has been arrested and sent to jail, but in reality 2 families here have already been ruined. This case serves as a serious warning about betrayal and the consequences of decisions made under extreme emotions. Sachin doing such a despicable act with his friend is a sober violation of privacy and trust, which is not only morally wrong but also illegal. And this fueled the anger in Shailendra to such an extent that the end result became so terrible. However, whatever Shailendra did cannot be justified. This extreme overreaction is not justified in any way. This was a case of betrayal trauma, uncontrolled anger, and cognitive distortions. This case teaches us that we should not misuse anyone's personal information, and the other person's capabilities should be treated with the same care as we expect from others for ourselves. At the same time, it is important for a person trapped in any kind of blackmailing to take professional counseling or required legal help. If nothing else, at least involve a neutral third party, because seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you like to listen to crime cases in audio form, then you can listen to our podcast on Spotify, the link of which is given in the description, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving so much love and support.